So, you're serious about mastering English, and you're thinking about studying abroad. That's a huge step. But what if the places that first pop into your head aren't actually the best places to learn? Today, we're going to look at why New Zealand might just be the secret weapon for getting fluent, fast.
And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? The decision you make right here is going to shape everything. How quickly you learn, the friends you make, the memories you'll have forever. I mean, it's a massive commitment, so picking the right spot is absolutely crucial. Look, you can follow the crowd, you can head to one of the giant global cities. That's the common path. It's familiar, for sure, but it has some hidden challenges we're about to get into. Or you can choose something different, a path that's not just about education, but about a true, life-changing adventure. And that is the New Zealand path. So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the biggest challenge of studying abroad. Then we'll unpack New Zealand's massive immersion advantage, talk about why the learning environment is just better, explore the incredible life you can have outside of class, and finally, show you why it's such a smart investment in your future. All right, let's dive into our first section, Beyond the Obvious Choices. We're going to talk about the one thing every language student wants but struggles to find, and that's real, honest-to-goodness immersion. So here's the absolute biggest risk. You travel halfway around the world, you spend a ton of money, and you end up in a great classroom in London or New York, but then you spend all your time after class speaking your own language with new friends from your home country. It happens all the time in big cities, and it just torpedoes the whole reason you went abroad in the first place. And that is the perfect lead-in to our second point, the immersion advantage. Let's dig into how New Zealand's unique setup pretty much forces you to learn English way faster. Okay, check this out, because this chart really says it all. In those major cities, what we call the expat bubble is huge. It's so easy to get stuck inside it, only speaking your native language. But in New Zealand, that bubble is just way smaller. You can't avoid speaking English because, well, you just have to.
And this is what that actually looks like day to day. Your learning doesn't just stop when the bell rings. You're ordering your flat white in English, you're asking for directions to the beach in English, you're chatting with locals on a hiking trail in English. Every single interaction becomes a mini lesson. And on top of that, you've got this absolute game changer. If your course is 14 weeks or longer, you can actually work up to 20 hours a week. Now, this isn't just about the extra cash. This is about working in a real cafe or a shop, talking to customers and coworkers. It's immersion on a whole other level.
Okay, so the social setting is perfect for immersion. But what about the classroom itself? Let's jump into Section 3 and see why it's actually a better learning environment, focusing on quality, clarity, and that all-important personal attention. This right here, this is huge. Just look at the difference. In a lot of other countries, you could be just one student out of 20 or even more. But in New Zealand, the average class size is almost half that. That means to get more time to speak, more feedback from your teacher, you're not just a face in the crowd.
And that smaller class size is why you hear things like this from students all the time. This isn't just some marketing slogan. Because the classes are so small, the teachers really get to know you. They understand what you're struggling with and what you want to achieve, and they can actually help you get there.
Okay, let's talk about the accent, because I know you're probably wondering about it. Is it hard to understand? Actually, it's the opposite. The Kiwi accent is a massive advantage for learners. It's known for being super clear and pretty neutral, without all the really strong regional variations you might struggle with in the US or the UK. It's just easier to pick up.
So you've got this amazing learning environment, right? But what happens when you step outside the school? Well, that's what Section 4 is all about. Because studying in New Zealand is so much more than just sitting in a classroom. It really is the experience of a lifetime. I mean, seriously, get a load of this. This isn't some fantasy vacation plan. This could be your actual weekend. The nature there is just insane, and it's so easy to get to. Adventure just becomes a normal part of your week. How cool is that? And it's not just about the adrenaline, right? There's this incredibly deep and unique culture to dive into. You get to experience Māori heritage firsthand. It's a living, breathing culture. That's something you just can't get from a textbook. It'll completely enrich your view of the world. And here's something that's super important, especially for your family back home. While you're out there having the time of your life, you can also feel incredibly safe. New Zealand is always ranked as one of the safest countries on Earth, which is just amazing peace of mind for everyone. Okay, this all sounds amazing, but let's get practical for a minute. Is it a good move for your career and your future? Absolutely. That's our final section.
why choosing New Zealand is a really smart investment.
This table breaks it all down, nice and simple. You can see right away that tuition and living costs are often more affordable than in places like the UK or Australia. But here's the real secret weapon. Look at that bottom row. For many universities, if you pass your course at an English school, you can get in directly. No IELTS, no TOEFL. That is a massive advantage.
So you can see how the whole path just lays itself out in front of you. You start by truly mastering English because you're totally immersed in it. That success can then open the door right into a New Zealand university. And hey, if you fall in love with the country, and a lot of people do, there are often clear pathways to stay longer and work.
You know, when it's all said and done, it really boils down to this. You're not just going there to pass a test. When you come back from New Zealand, you bring two things home: fluent, confident English, and the memories of an adventure that will honestly change you forever. So yeah, the common path is always going to be there. But if you're looking for faster learning, a richer experience, and a smarter investment in yourself, the only real question left is, are you ready for an adventure?